Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
In the perpetually simmering cauldron of Port Charles, where personal loyalties perpetually wage war against professional obligations, a new crisis is brewing, one that promises to redefine alliances, shatter marriages, and test the very fabric of the law. At the center of this gathering storm stands Nathan West, a man recently returned to the fold of the Port Charles Police Department, PCPD, his badge feeling both familiar and foreign in his hands. His reinstatement, however, is not a simple return to duty. It is the first domino in a chain of events that could lead to a spectacular, soap-worthy collapse, culminating in the unthinkable, Drew Cain and a pregnant Willow Tate facing the cold, hard reality of a prison cell. This is not merely a storyline, it is a baptism by fire for all involved, a tumultuous beginning fueled by encouraging words from allies and the angry threats of those whose lives are about to be irrevocably upended. The precarious return, Nathan's new role as guardian and watchdog. Nathan West's return to the PCPD is itself shrouded in the town's characteristic chaos. With Police Commissioner Anna Devane mysteriously absent, officially on a top-secret WSB mission, the whispers of a more sinister hostage situation persist, a power vacuum needed to be filled. Mayor Laura Collins, in a move that balanced practicality with trust, appointed Detective Dante Falconeri as the acting commissioner. Dante's first significant personnel decision was to welcome Nathan back to the force, a poignant full-circle moment after Anna had previously denied his reinstatement due to the lingering shadows of his amnesia. But this homecoming came with a unique and deeply personal caveat. Dante, a man who navigates the world with a sharp blend of street smarts and moral code, assigned Nathan a new partner, Harrison Chase. This pairing, on the surface, seems straightforward. Yet, Dante's directive to Nathan was anything but. Knowing Chase's history and his specific, profound vulnerability when it comes to Willow Tate, Dante gave Nathan a dual mandate: partner with Chase, but also protect him from himself. Keep an eye on Chase, Dante likely implored, his tone laced with brotherly concern. Keep him on the straight and narrow. This request transforms Nathan's role from that of a simple officer to a guardian and a watchdog. He is being asked to police his partner, to monitor the line between professional duty and personal obsession. For Nathan, a man still refinding his footing, this places him in an ethically complex position from day one. His duty is to the badge and to his commissioner's orders, but his personal connections, to Dante, to Chase, and to Willow herself, create a minefield of conflicting loyalties. He is, effectively, a spy in his own patrol car, and the intelligence he gathers could detonate multiple lives. Chase's dangerous descent, the white knight with a tarnished shield. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase is spiraling. The shooting of Drew Cain, and Willow's subsequent implication in the crime, has activated his most deeply ingrained instincts, that of the chivalrous protector. Convinced of Willow's innocence, he has launched a private, off-the-books investigation to clear her name. This noble intention, however, is rapidly curdling into a dangerous obsession. He is no longer just a detective on a case, he is a former flame, a devoted friend, and a man whose judgment is becoming increasingly clouded by a potent cocktail of concern, residual feelings, and righteous fury. The warnings are already sounding. In a telling moment on November 12, his wife, Brooke Lynn Quartermain, voiced her concerns, her words a clear foreshadowing of the turmoil to come. She warned him about becoming overly involved, about the peril of blurring the lines between his professional responsibilities and his personal history with Willow. Brooke Lynn, a Quartermain to her core, understands the optics and the devastation of scandal better than most. Her warning is a lighthouse beam in the fog of Chase's fixation, but he is steering his ship directly toward the rocks. As his investigation intensifies, the potential for him to cross the line grows exponentially. This line is both professional and personal. Professionally, he may bend or break rules to obtain evidence, illegal searches, coercing witnesses, or withholding information from the PCPD. Any evidence he uncovers in this manner would be fatally tainted, not only getting it thrown out of court but potentially making Willow's legal situation infinitely worse. A defense attorney, or a prosecutor like Diane Miller, would have a field day dismantling a case built on a foundation of a detective's inappropriate, and illegal, entanglement with the suspect. The more perilous line, however, is the one of the heart. Chase and Willow share a complex history, a bond forged in genuine affection and what might have been. In her current state, pregnant, terrified, and feeling abandoned by the man she thought was her rock, Drew, Willow is profoundly vulnerable. Chase, in his relentless pursuit to save her, represents a safe harbor. In a moment of high emotion, of shared fear and desperate gratitude, a comforting hug could easily morph into something more. A secret meeting to discuss the case could escalate into a charged, intimate encounter. A kiss in a shadowy corridor, a frantic rendezvous in a secluded hotel suite, these are the classic tropes of soap opera drama, and they loom large over this storyline. The unraveling, a spectacular soapy outcome. This is where Nathan's watchful eyes become the catalyst for catastrophe. Imagine the scene: Nathan, dutifully shadowing his partner as per Dante's orders, witnesses something he cannot unsee. He might see Chase and Willow in a clandestine, emotionally charged embrace that is unmistakably romantic. He might observe them entering a hotel room together under a veil of secrecy. Or, he might uncover the less salacious but equally damning evidence of Chase's professional misconduct, a hidden file, a coerced statement, a bypassed protocol. Nathan is then thrust into the very tight spot the spoilers foretell. He is faced with an impossible choice. His duty as a police officer, and his direct order from Dante, compels him to report what he has seen. Failing to do so would make him complicit in the corruption. But reporting it would have devastating consequences. He would be responsible for ending Chase's career. Revealing Chase's misconduct would almost certainly lead to his immediate suspension and likely termination from the PCPD. The badge is Chase's identity, losing it would be a catastrophic blow. Destroying a marriage, telling Dante almost guarantees that the news will reach Brooklyn. Dante, protective of his cousin and a man of principle, would feel a moral obligation to inform her that her husband is straying, either emotionally or physically. The fallout would be nuclear. Brooklyn is not a woman who suffers betrayal quietly. The Quartermaine wrath, amplified by Tracy Quartermaine's legendary temper, would rain down upon Chase with unimaginable force. Harming his niece, Willow is Nathan's niece. To act on what he sees would be to directly contribute to her public shaming and complicate her legal defense further. Her reputation would be shredded, and in the court of public opinion, she would be tried and convicted as an adulteress and a manipulator, regardless of the facts of the shooting case. This is the spectacularly soapy outcome perfect for November sweeps. It's a high-stakes dilemma with no easy answers, pitting family against duty, love against the law. The domino effect, from scandal to incarceration. But how does this tangled web of personal betrayal lead to the ultimate outcome of Drew and a pregnant Willow facing prison? The connection is intricate and devastating. Scenario 1, the tainted case. Chase, in his rogue investigation, uncovers a piece of evidence that could genuinely exonerate Willow. However, because Nathan reports Chase's misconduct or his affair with Willow, the entire investigation is compromised. The district attorney's office, wary of a lawsuit or an overturned conviction, might drop the case against Willow for the shooting, only to pivot and charge both her and Chase with obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, or conspiracy. In this scenario, Chase's White Knight complex backfires spectacularly, landing the very person he sought to protect in even hotter water, with additional charges. Scenario 2, the bigger crime revealed. Chase's obsessive focus on the shooting blinds him, and by extension, the PCPD, to a larger crime. Nathan, being the fresh, unclouded eyes on the situation, begins to look beyond Chase's personal drama. He starts to connect dots that Chase is too distracted to see. His investigation leads him not to evidence of Willow's innocence in the shooting, but to evidence of a different crime altogether. This is where Drew's recent, brazen theft of the Quartermaine heirlooms, his financial manipulations, and his general pattern of corruption could come into play. Nathan's dogged police work could uncover a sprawling conspiracy involving Drew, one that implicates Willow, either as a willing participant or as an unwitting accomplice whose name is on documents or who was used as a pawn in his schemes. Perhaps the theft was just the tip of the iceberg, and Drew is involved in something far more sinister, fraud, embezzlement, or worse. If Willow, in her desperate state, signed something without reading it, or allowed Drew to use her assets, she could be legally culpable. The image of a pregnant Willow being read her rights is heart-wrenching and powerful drama. It represents the ultimate failure of every system meant to protect her and the tragic culmination of her association with Drew Kane. For Drew, it would be the long-overdue comeuppance fans have been craving. His empire of arrogance would crumble, not from a single bullet, but from the meticulous, lawful work of a detective just doing his job. Conclusion: a baptism begins. The stage is set for a monumental reckoning in Port Charles. Nathan West's return is the inciting incident, a baptism into a new world of moral complexity. His every move will be scrutinized, his every decision weighted with consequence. Harrison Chase stands on the precipice, his good intentions paving a road to hell for himself, his wife, and the woman he hopes to save. Willow Tate, caught between a vengeful ex and a doomed white knight, faces a threat to her freedom, her family, and her future. The encouraging words are the whispered plans of allies, Dante's trust in Nathan, Brooke Lynn's warning to Chase, the hope that the truth will prevail. The angry threats are the unspoken promises of retribution, from a betrayed Quartermaine clan, from a scorned wife, from a justice system that has been manipulated for too long. Nathan West may catch Harrison Chase and Willow Tate crossing the line. Will Chase's new mate report a reproach to Dante Falconeri? Since Anna Devane apparently went off on some top-secret WSB charge, Dante has taken over her police manager position in the meantime. There's obviously more going on with hostage Anna, but the point is PCPD needs someone to fulfill this leadership part. Laura Collins put Dante in charge, so he was the one to deliver the good news about Nathan being back on the force. Now Nathan has been assigned Chase for a mate, but Dante's special request could affect Nathan's forthcoming plot. Since Dante knows Chase has some eyeless spots when it comes to Willow Tate, he's asked Nathan to look out for Chase as well as keep him on the straight and narrow. In other words, Nathan's going to be keeping a close eye on Chase, which could spell trouble considering all these hints about Willow. There are signs that Chase's job could be on the line because of his particular disquisition and vulnerability when it comes to his former honey. The show Flattestual told suckers that Nathan's going to be covering this whole situation, so what if he catches Chase crossing the line ever? As Chase becomes decreasingly determined to clear Willow's name, he may go too far and break some major rules in the process. Chase is getting awfully fixated on this and could make some blunders that'll bring him. It's indeed possible Nathan will catch a regard of Chase cheating with Willow at some point. Chase might get fractured kissing or heading into a suite with Willow depending on how far GH pens want to take effects. Chase could make this mess worse rather or better for Willow if whatever helpful substantiation he might uncover looks alloyed because of their romantic trap. There's also the matter of Chase's marriage to Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, which Dante is clearly going to be defensive of. However, Dante may feel indebted to give Brooke Lynn updates if Chase breaks his marriage vows in the midst of all this. No matter what exactly Nathan sees, he may witness some problems when it comes to Chase. Nathan may gossip to Dante after Chase crosses the line with Willow ever, so both Chase's job and marriage could be at threat. General Hospital spoilers say Nathan could land in a tight spot thanks to Chase's forthcoming moves, so stay tuned. Yes, the PCPD is that hopeless. At the same time, Chase is trying to prove that Willow Tate didn't shoot Drew Kane. What are the chances that Nathan sees or hears commodity he should end between the two partners? We'd say excellent, seeing as how substitute commish Dante Falconeri told him to keep an eye on Chase. Will Chase and Willow cross a line? Dante is acting commish because Anna Devane is MIA, and that's why he hired amnesiac Nathan to keep the thoroughfares safe. It makes little sense, but we suspect this chain of events to effect in a spectacularly adulatory outgrowth, especially given that it's November sweeps. Mayor Laura Collins put Dante in charge, and one of the first effects he did was welcome Nathan back, after Anna told him she wouldn't hire him. Nathan will keep a close eye on Chase at a time when he's venturing his emblem by running a private disquisition on the side. Are Willow and Chase about to be caught? In the November 12th occasion, Chase's woman, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, advised Chase about getting exorbitantly involved in Willow's case. This could herald Chase's preoccupation getting him in trouble. However, what would he do? After all, Willow is his bastard and he wouldn't want to hurt her in any way. If Nathan does substantiation Chase cheating with Willow, what happens next in PC? Despite his good intentions, Chase could make Willow's situation worse if he oversteps. And if he crosses a line romantically, his marriage to Brooklyn could be kaput. We suspect that Nathan tells Dante if Chase is unhappy with Willow, and it seems a sure bet that Dante would tell Brooklyn if Chase strays. Red Hot General Hospital spoilers tease that Nathan may be between a gemstone and a hard place in his new job shadowing Chase. Do you suppose that Chase will cheat with Willow? And if he does, who should he sweat more, BLQ or Tracy Quartermain?